Hello guys, we are on Tracks, the train set game, and we're doing something a little bit different. As you can see, I've chucked down some bows. My train is on its way round to play my little tune. This is a traditional sort of Spanish, Mexican, Christmas nursery rhyme hymn type tune. You might recognise it as it goes through, so as it approaches the first bell, I'll shut up and let it play. So here we go. Right, that is called La Na Na Nita Na Na, or something like that. I have no idea what that means. You might be getting a bit of an echo from my TV volume, so I'll turn it down a little bit, but I do need to hear it. That is the first section of the song, but normally you don't hear cows in the background. If you're a regular viewer of mine, you will know that that is a guy's horn. He's going to be here for about the next hour and a half, but that cow sound will continue throughout this entire video. So that is the first part of the song. I'm going to show you the sheet music to that now so you can see what it is. So we've just done from here to here. Now on this song we're playing this top line. We're not playing this line, we're not playing this line. Those two lines are like the duet and the bass of the song. We just want the main melody, which is the bit you would sing, or if you were playing piano, usually it's the bit you'd play with your right hand. So once we've done all of this, we're then going to go down to this section, and we're going to do the top line of this bulk of three as well, which is this one right here. And we're only going to go to there. That's the end of our little tune. So I want to kind of explain how the timing works for this, so that you can understand how to translate something like this into the game. Right, this song has a timing which is a little bit like a waltz. So you see where it says here 3/4. That means the song goes 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So it sounds like a waltz as opposed to like a marching drum beat, which would be 4/4, which is known as common time, which goes 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, which is what most sort of like popular music is, to be honest. But this is a waltz. Now, we have notes that are separated by these lines. You see, there's a little bunch of them, a line, another bunch, another line, another bunch, another line. Each one of those lines is kind of like a group of 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So every time we reach one of these lines, it goes back to 1 again. Now, depending on the way these notes are drawn, tells us how long that note is. So this first note here is kind of like a dot with a stick. That is the same as this one here, it's the same as this one, and it's the same as this one. This one looks a little bit different. For the purposes of this video, it's the same. It's a dot with a stick. It doesn't matter if the stick goes up or down, it's a dot with a stick. Dots with sticks represent the numbers 1, 2, or 3. So if we only had dots with sticks, we would have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But we haven't got that. You can see that sometimes they're joined together by this bar. So these two are joined together, these two are joined together, and that's the same sort of pattern all the way through. Now this bar coming out the top, that means that that note is half the amount of time as the one we've just been talking about. And the way we say that is to use the word and. So this is 1, 2, and 3, and. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and. And that happens the same for these three sections of the music. And then when we get to here, there are no bars, it's just 1, 2, and then there's no number 3. There's no note there, so it's like a bit of a gap, bit of a rest. And that is the end of the first section of the song, and that's where we've done to so far on Tracks. So this goes 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2. That's the way this song sort of sounds rhythmically, but that's nothing to do with the melody, which is the actual notes. So very, very, very quickly, I'll explain how the melody works, which is the tune. So we have some dots, and the dots are positioned on these lines. Some of them are lower down, some of them are higher up. Now, if you look at a piano, the dots that appear low down, they are towards the left-hand side of the piano, and the dots that appear higher up, like this one for instance, are more towards the right-hand side of the piano. Now if we zoom in a little bit, and we can see that there are like 5 lines with gaps between them. And sometimes the dots are on a line, sometimes they are on a gap between the lines, as you can see. What these represent is specific keys on a piano. So these, whether it is a line or a gap, that is a white key on the piano. So this dot here, that represents a specific key on the piano. So we play that key twice. Then we play the white key immediately to the right of it. So if we're moving up in dots, we move towards the right hand side of the piano and we get like a higher pitch. So we play this note twice, and then we move to the very next white key and we play the next note, and then we move to the next white key and we play the next note, and then we move to the next one and we play the next one, and so on and so forth. When we get to here, we actually repeat this note 3 times. So it's kind of a little bit confusing, because if you don't know how this stuff works, you might think that just the lines are the notes on the piano, or you might think the gaps are the white notes, the lines are the black notes. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter if it's a gap or a line, it's a white note on the piano. So where are the black notes? Well, the black notes are whether we make a white note sound sad or sound happy. And in musical terms, that's called being flat or being sharp. So we have a normal note, which is a white note on the piano, and if we move to the left of the normal note, then the note becomes sad. And in most cases, but not all, that's going to be a black note. And if we move to the right of the normal note, the note becomes happy. And in most cases, but not all, that is going to be a black note. See this little symbol here, like a tiny B that's on the middle line? That represents flat, which is kind of like sad. So every note that we play on this middle line, we need to make it a sad note. So that one right there, rather than playing the normal note, we play the sad version. So if I pop on over to tracks, I can show you how this works on an actual keyboard by doing this. Right, if I just pop this down. Right, so let's say if we have this note selected, that is an A. Let me just let this play through. Right, so that's an A, and if we wanted to play a sad A, we'd go that direction just one step, which is a black note, which is an A flat or a sad A. If we wanted to go the other way, we'd get a happy A, which is called an A sharp, but it is also called a B flat, which is the way they've represented it here. Now, a sharp is represented by a hash symbol, so that is a C sharp. A flat is represented by a lowercase b, so that is an E flat. But it's also a D sharp. So this is the letter D, the note D. To the left of the note D would be D flat, which is also C sharp. To the right of the note D is D sharp, which is also E flat. It's a lot simpler than I'm making it sound. Right, so we've got normal notes, we've got sad versions, which are the flats, we've got happy versions, which are the sharps. Now on this particular song, every B we play is a sad B. So rather than it being a B, which would be the middle line, we play the sad version, which is B flat, which is there. So that's how the black notes come into play. But all of those lines and all of those spaces between those lines, they normally just represent white notes, unless right at the beginning there is a little B symbol or a little hash symbol on one of the lines or one of the spaces. And if there is, that's kind of saying every time you play the note that's represented by this line or this space, play the happy or the sad version. Right, so this is very basic. So what we want to do now is get the next note of our song. So if we pop back to our song, we got to, I'll zoom out, we got to there. So this is 1, 2, and then there's no number 3, so number 3 is a space, and then that note represents the 1 of the next section of the music, and that note is a G. So we need to move forward over the 3 onto the 1 and play a G. So let's do that. Right, I'm just going to put this note down and then delete it because it's not in the right place. Right, so what I'm going to do now, this is a really, really handy thing to know. See where it says snap at the bottom? If we have that on 100% and we just put down bells that were 100% snapped away from each other, that would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If we knock it down to 50% and we put bells down that are snapping in place, that's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. If If we knock it down to 25%, that's going to be 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a. So it's very easy to get the timing of the notes correct by choosing 25%, 50% or 100% snap. So at the moment, I'm going to leave it on 100%. We need a G, so we need to get a musical note. We're going to put it on top of this one to begin with. That there is the number 1. That is a 2. The number 3 wasn't played. It was a space, like a rest. So we're going to go to the 1 of the next bit of music, which is here. So we need that big space for it to be correct. And we'll pop that note down. And as I said, that was a G. So we'll choose the G. Have I put it in the right place? Yes, I have. So we did the G. The next one is is the 2. So this is the 1. The next one is the 2. We've got the right spacing for that already. And this is an A, which is there. Right, so we've got the 1, 2. The next note is an AND. So I want to step this down to 50%, like that. And then when I move across, it's going to snap the note in at where the AND would sound. So this one is a B flat. So it's a B, but all the Bs in this song are sad, so it goes B flat. The next one along, it's again another step along of an AND. So this is like the 3. We've got 1, 2, and 3. This is the 3. And this one is a C, which is that note. The next is the AND after the 3, which is here, which is a B flat. I'll let it play. Right, so that's the B flat of the AND. So we're now on the 1 of the next series. So if I have a look back over on my sheet music, we've just done this bit. We've just done 1, 2, and 3, and that one there, that note there, is the B flat that we've just put down. So the next note that we need is all the way down here. It's that, let's zoom in. It's that note right there, which is an A. And from this point to almost the end of the song, we are doing the 50% snap with just 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. That's how the rest of the song goes. That's as far as we're going to go. So every single one of those is the same distance apart, which makes our life very, very simple. We just need to know what the notes are. So this one is an A. Which we're going to go back over to tracks. And we need to go 50% away, and we need to pop down an A. And then we go 50% again, which is what our snap is set to, so it's going to be nice and easy. This one is a G. Next, we have an F. Hopefully I can get through this before the train comes around. So we've got a G next. I'll let it play. Oh, what am I on? What am I on? I think I've just done a G, so this should be an A. I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm not losing track. So this one would be an F. And then same distance again, so 50% still. We have a G. Then another F. Same distance again. The next one is an E, as it moves down the piano. Then we have, whoops, an F. This one is a G. I'll leave it though. Next we have an E. Then an, whoops. Then an F. I'm not sure if I've just put down the correct note or not. I'll be able to tell when it comes around and plays the tune. Then an E again. And then the final note of the song is a D. And that should be it. So it's about to come round. Let's have it play. There you go. That is La Na Na Nita Na Na, which is, as I say, a traditional kind of Mexican, I think it is, but it's very popular here in Colombia. It's something that is, it's almost like it's like a half hymn, half nursery rhyme, something that's quite popular around Christmas. I really like it. It's very, very nice to play on the piano, especially this last section where it moves down. But that is it in Bells on tracks. So what I'd recommend that you do if you do want to play a song on tracks is put out a straight track. What I'll do now is I'll make it go back to the beginning more quickly. There we go. I quite like the idea of the Christmas settings on this game and then making a few different little Christmas songs like this. There's quite a lot of very simple Christmas songs that will fit within those 2 octaves, and you can put them around the room. So as your train goes around the room, it can play various different Christmas songs, which is pretty cool. So you can see there, it's taken me 35 minutes to do this because that's since my last save, and I haven't saved. So obviously that's how long this has taken. There we go. But it's taken that long because I've had to start my recording over and over again for various different problems, most of which were caused by my laptop running out of space and then running out of battery. But we finally got it done. What the main thing you want to take away from this video is not so much the tune, which is obviously different depending on what tune you're using, but it's the time signatures. This is so useful. So 100% for 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 50% is notes that are 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 25% is for the ones that also have those E's and A's. So 1E and A, 2E and A, 3E and A, 4E and A. Just like that. And it doesn't matter whether you're counting to 3 or whether you're counting to 4. If you're counting to 4, it's going to sound like a marching drum beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That kind of thing. If you're just counting to 3, then it's going to have kind of the feeling of a waltz. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's the way this song is. But whether the song is 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4, the notes are always half the size of the previous one. So they're either 100% distance apart, 50% distance apart, or 25% distance apart. You can sometimes get 12.5% as well, but there are not many songs that would use that. So there you go. That's how you translate standard notation timing onto tracks. And really, if you want to know how to translate the actual melody onto tracks, then you sort of need to know which note is which from this. So I'll very quickly explain that. This note here, the one hanging off the bottom, is a D. So if we go back to tracks and we put down a bow, we'll plonk this down. That note that was hanging off the bottom is this one right here. So that was a D, it was hanging off the bottom. Now, as I said, the next line above that, so the bottom line of the 5, is the next white note along the keyboard. So that would be an E. And then above that one, we have the first space, that is an F. Then we have the line above that first space, which is the second line up, which is a G. The next space is an A. And then the line that is the very middle line of the set of 5 is a B, which in our music always should be a sad B, so a flat B. And then the next space is a C, the next line is a D, the next space is an E, and the top line of the set of 5 is an F. And if there was a note that went to the space above the top line, it would be a G. So you may have noticed, or you may already know, that the spaces between the lines, not counting the one off the bottom or the one off the top, they spell the word face. So the first space is an F, the next space is an A, the next space is a C, and the next space is an E. So if you look at those spaces between the lines, which are, let's just zoom in. So that's this space here, then that one, then that one, that one. There's only 4 spaces. So in notes, they spell the word face, F-A-C-E. Now the lines are E, G, B, D, E, which some people remember with the acronym Every Good Boy Deserves Football. Hang on, every good boy deserves F. Sorry, that top one's an F. Did I say E? No, the space is an E, the line's an F. So every good boy deserves football. I think that's a bit of a silly acronym because I don't like football. So if I was a good boy and someone gave me football, it'd annoy me. Right, interesting little side note here. We're talking here about music, and we were talking about like a waltz beat, and we've just mentioned football. When I was a kid and we had Panini football sticker albums, in order to get football stickers, my dad used to make me and my brother go to ballroom dancing lessons. So we had to dance the waltz and the foxtrot and all of that nonsense, and afterwards we'd get football stickers, and it was quite embarrassing that we were the only two boys in the entire the ballroom where we did the dancing. We were the only two boys. We were quite young, and none of our friends at school did ballroom dancing. It was a bit embarrassing, and it made us feel a little bit gay, and we didn't like it. And we decided that we didn't want to collect football stickers anymore if that was the way we had to get them. So that might be one of the reasons why I am not too keen on football. But there you go. So I know it's a little bit of a tangent, but it just reminded me of it. The idea of doing a waltz and every good boy deserves football. So that's my childhood for you. So there we go. That's the way that you do music in tracks. And it's quite good. I'm quite impressed with it. So obviously you can make your train go faster and it will play the song faster. What's it gone all the way around there for? Is that because I went out for a bit? Oh, it's because I was in the train. So when you're in the train, if you don't turn, it goes straight on. Isn't that awesome? Absolutely awesome. Let's make it even faster. And we'll turn so it goes the proper way. We'll drive through it ourselves. Oh shit, I've gone off the track. Right, let's reset the train. I've made a mistake. Right, now let's let me just press this. Right. Oh god, everything's going wrong. Right, we're in the train. Now let's go full speed around our little tune while the cow's outside. Yeah, that's going the right way. Is this one going the right way? It must be, because he didn't play that last bell. Oh, I've just realised my TV's turned up, so you're going to get a really hideous echo, so I'll just turn it down for you. And we'll let the train go through one more time. And now I'm going to slow down the train to a more reasonable pace. But I think about there. And we'll let it play through just once more. And there you have it. Right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find it useful. I'm not sure whether people will or won't find this useful. Let me know, leave a comment. And also, if you have... if you're making videos, playing tunes and songs and doing tracks on tracks, then if you've uploaded a video to YouTube, then by all means, leave a link to your video in the comment section of this video, and people can check out yours as well. It will get marked as spam by YouTube, but I'll see that and I'll say this video is not spam, and then you can share your tracks with people as well, and maybe your little tunes and things. It's a lot of fun. This game really gives you a great deal of possibilities, but I really wish they'd bring out some expansions where they give you some more pieces and some more things that you can do with those pieces. It is a little bit more limited than I would like, but it's still pretty good. So that's all from me, guys. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video or found it useful. If you have, then please leave a like and leave a comment. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.